From South Florida, this is Headliners, only on CBS News Miami.
Hi there and welcome to Headliners. I'm Lauren Pastrana. It's been 15 years now since one of the worst natural disasters in modern history, where more than 300,000 people were killed and over 1 million were displaced after a magnitude 7 earthquake ravaged Haiti. We're now hearing from some of the survivors as they reflect on that day. CBS News Miami's Chelsea Jones has the story.
Images like these forever imprinted in the minds of Haitians everywhere. A 7.0 magnitude quake reducing much of the country to rubble, killing over 315,000 people and injuring another 300,000. Muriel Marinelli is one of them.
I lost some friends, some family members, so it was so hard.
She also lost an arm buried under her school desk for 5 days. In the weeks that followed, she spent a month sheltered by the Red Cross.
So because I was stuck for 5 days, when I went out, I can't find hospital because everywhere is down.
Sunday, she celebrated her home country with hundreds of others in Little Haiti at the Toussaint Louverture statue.
We remember how people suffered. We remember how Haiti suffered, and we want to send a message of solidarity to the people of Haiti and to tell them we don't forget them.
The ceremony was a call to action.
And then also to send a message to the Haitian leaders to really stand up and then at last to organize to put Haiti on the path forward.
Miami-Dade County Commissioner Marlene Bastian is also calling on the Biden administration to extend temporary protective status for Haitians in the United States through 2028.
So part of my earlobe completely fell off, and my cheek, they had to do a bunch of reconstruction.
Peterson Excise is a survivor too. His apartment collapsed on top of him. He sought refuge here in the United States. His family would benefit from a TPS extension. Sunday, though, was to never forget those moments at 4:53 p.m. on Tuesday, January 12th, 2010.
In Miami, I'm Chelsea Jones, CBS News, Miami.
Right now, we are just days away from the next Trump presidency. Among some of the first orders of his administration will likely be an immigration crackdown. Haitian leaders and advocates for immigrant rights called on outgoing President Biden to extend temporary protected status to Haitians across the country before leaving office. CBS News Miami's Tanya Francois is in the newsroom with one Haitian man's story.
It is like an emergency. President Biden, I'm talking to you directly. Extend TPS for Haiti until December 2028 to give Haiti a chance to recover.
One of those people needing TPS is 48-year-old Christelle Guchette. In Creole, he says, the government that is going to replace Biden, that person sends people to Haiti. He's sending them there to die. Guchette has been in South Florida since October of 2023. He left Haiti after being attacked by gangs and has the scar on his leg to prove it. He also fears being removed from his family. His youngest son is an American. His wife has temporary protected status, or TPS. He has no protections. He says, yes, my entire family will be split apart. One will go left, another right, another over there. I asked Guchette's wife, Rosemine, if her husband is forced to return, how would she feel? She says it'd be very hard, as he is here helping to raise their son. Lucius Daniel is also waiting to be granted TPS, fearing what may happen to him come Monday. He says if returned, that Haiti isn't good for us. People are shooting us. As soon as you arrive, the gangs will kidnap you. Along with extending TPS, community leaders have one other request.
To deputize sheriffs and police officers to detain immigrants would be wrong. That will destabilize our communities.
That was CBS News Miami's Tanya Francois reporting. When we come back, some important safety tips to keep in mind if you or your family have to pull over on the highway. That's next.
From South Florida, this is Headliners, only on CBS News Miami.
Welcome back. I'm Lauren Pastrana. We've seen a recent rise in highway-related deaths across South Florida. Just this week, there was a fatal crash off I-95 North after a woman was killed standing along the side of the busy highway. It happened as two drivers were dealing with another wreck. CBS News Miami's Ted Scouten is in Hollywood with what you should do if you ever find yourself on the side of the road.
This was a tragic crash that took the life of a woman. Now we are looking into ways that you can stay as safe as possible if you ever find yourself stuck on the highway. A deadly crash on I-95 North just past Oakland Park Boulevard. It began as one accident. FHP said a woman and a man were standing outside talking when suddenly a second crash, this one taking the woman's life. The 6-car accident left 95 closed for 5 hours, a traffic nightmare.
Usually there's a little bit of chaos, but today everything's at a standstill.
So what can you do to lessen the chances of something tragic happening if you're stuck on the highway? We went to an expert, Emilio Pereda from Sunshine Towing, to find out.
If you're involved in a motor vehicle accident and if it's safe to do so, move the vehicle off the roadway. If not, I suggest you stay inside the vehicle.
We slowed down this video of cars pulling off to the side of 95. See the man on the side of the car? Experts recommend you stand on the other side of the guardrail or wall and never hang out in between cars. So after an accident, if we get out of the car, so there's a car here and a car here, we get out, we're standing in between them. That's a bad place to stand.
That's a bad place to stand. You shouldn't have, because you're in the crush zone. Secondary accident could happen and we'll be crushed between both vehicles.
If you break down in the toll lanes, Emilio recommends staying in the car with your seatbelt fastened. If you're on the shoulder, even a wide one, experts urge you to pay close attention, never give your back to traffic, and always be on the lookout.
If you see a vehicle that's coming too close or too quickly towards you, you have the opportunity to try to move out of the way.
The Florida Highway Patrol is investigating. At this point, we're still waiting to find out what caused that accident. In Hollywood, Ted Scouten, CBS News Miami.
Business owners in Miami Beach are expressing concern over speeding bikes and scooters on sidewalks. They say their customers are often getting hit. Now, in a story you'll see only on CBS News Miami, Anna McAllister spoke to one business owner who says one of her clients was struck just last week.
Since we've been out here filming this story, I've almost got hit a couple times by e-bikes, e-scooters, people just riding on bicycles. There is a little bit of a hill here on the sidewalk, so for people who are stepping out of these stores like Sobetan's, if they're not paying attention, they could get hit, and that's exactly what business owners are worried about.
I have a few celebrities because we've been doing this for so long. Kim Kardashian, Salma Hayek.
When you want to get some color without being in the Florida sun, Fabiola Trujillo can give you that sun-kissed look.
Go here, it's like makeup.
Trujillo has been in the spray tan business for 25 years. She's used to giving her clients a bronze glow, but last week, one of her clients walked out and ended up black and blue. Someone on a bicycle crashed into the client who had stepped out onto the sidewalk. Trujillo's son, Gabriel, who also works at the shop, went out to check on her. Oh my God. When you walk out of Sobetan's, you're in this little nook, right? So when you get here, if you don't look to your left and you don't look to your right, it's likely that you could get hit, especially because you have a white wall here. So earlier, before we even did the interview, I was standing right about here, and I got hit almost a few times by both scooters and bikes. Trujillo says 2 months ago, another client and her young daughter were nearly hit by a speeding bike.
And she almost got hit by an inch with a bicycle that was like going like, I don't know what kind of speed. We just went like, shoo.
Trujillo has these signs up inside and outside of her business and tries to verbally warn customers before they step out, but she says often people on bikes and scooters are going so fast they don't have time to react.
People don't pay attention. I have to look both sides because bicycles, these motorized scooters, they storm. They go like in those high speeds.
According to the Florida Department of Transportation, people on bicycles and scooters can ride on sidewalks. But they must also follow the same rules as pedestrians and yield to them.
What I beg is just that they slow down.
And the business owners I spoke to on the street, like Trujillo and others, they tell me they do know that e-scooters, e-bikes, and bicyclists can share the sidewalk with pedestrians. They say they're just going to continue to keep a lookout for them, for their customers. But for now, reporting from Miami Beach, Anna McAllister, CBS News, Miami.
When we come back, too close for comfort. See a man's up close and personal encounter with a great white shark in the Florida Keys. Stick around.
From South Florida, this is Headliners, only on CBS News Miami.
Welcome back. I'm Lauren Pastrana. Tax season is right around the corner. The IRS says January 27th is the first day the agency will start accepting and processing 2024 income tax returns. As millions of Americans start getting ready to file, CBS News Miami's Jim Barry has some things you may want to keep in mind.
This tax season, the IRS expects more than 140 million individual tax returns to be filed ahead of the April 15th federal deadline. Lisa Green-Lewis with TurboTax says before getting started, there are a few things to keep in mind.
Gather your W-2s, 1099s that report your income, and then also those receipts for anything that's deductible.
Although the official deadline to file your return is in April, millions of Americans will not be up against that timeline. Your filing deadline may be different if you live or do business in a federally declared disaster area. For example, the IRS announced that Southern California wildfire victims now have until October 15th to file federal individual or business tax returns and make tax payments. Similarly, because of the devastation wrought by hurricanes Helene and Milton, all taxpayers in Alabama, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, and South Carolina, and parts of Tennessee and Virginia have until May 1st to file their returns and pay any tax due.
I would just keep in mind if you were impacted that you could claim the casualty on your 2024 taxes.
The IRS also says its pilot direct file program will now be open in 25 states, up from 12 last year when it launched. For those eligible, it'll allow people to file their taxes directly with the IRS for free. I'm Jim Barry, CBS News Miami.
Miami-Dade County partnered with FPL to create a way to reuse 15 million gallons daily of wastewater. CBS News Miami's Trish Christakis was at the Turkey Point Clean Energy Center to explain what this project means for residents and our environment.
One of Florida's most precious resources, water, is being preserved by the Miami-Dade Clean Water Recovery Center, now one of the largest reuse projects in Florida.
Be taking wastewater, treated wastewater from the county that they needed to dispose of, and cleaning it further here at our facility and using it to cool the equipment behind me.
Bill Orlov with FPL says that this will treat and reuse up to 15 million gallons per day from the county. 100% of that water will help cool the natural gas plant at the Turkey Point facility.
We were using the Floridan aquifer water to cool the plant. Now that's not happening, so we're preserving.
Something that Miami-Dade County Mayor Daniela Levine Cava says will benefit the environment. And under a state law, Miami-Dade County had to find a way to dispose of the wastewater by 2025.
It's a major step forward in helping us to meet the requirements of Florida's ocean outfall legislation.
They had regulations that they needed to meet this year to dispose of that water, that wastewater, and here we're able to do that.
FPL says the plant only adds pennies to your FPL bill.
There's a portion of customer's bill that's called the Environmental Cost Recovery Clause. It covers a lot of items that government agencies enforce upon us, and right now customers pay about 26 cents.
And FPL says this provides a cost-effective way to reuse and recycle wastewater that would otherwise be discarded. In Homestead, Trish Christakis, CBS News, Miami.
Finally, a fisherman has quite the shark tale to tell after a wild encounter in the Florida Keys. He was hoping to catch some snapper, but came face to face with a big shark instead. CBS News Miami's Erica Gonzalez tells us what happened.
James Pescovich has seen impressive fish as a pro working in the waters off the Florida Keys, but last week this sight left him in awe.
I mean, it was every emotion that you could possibly have watching it on TV right in front of you happening. It was incredible.
He was out with his son and his friend. A giant chum bag strapped to the side of their boat caught the attention of the seemingly hungry predator. They quickly realized the dark fin belonged to a large great white shark.
Yeah, I was like, what are you guys doing? Start recording.
They brought out their phones, and for the next 40 minutes, instead of catching yellowtail snapper like he planned, they captured video of the wild encounter James says is extremely rare.
It wasn't it was just kind of confused and excited, to have those smells in the water. And there was really, there was no source other than what was coming from our boat. So it kind of nibbled on our exhaust pipe. It kind of nibbled at the transom a few times on both sides.
Erica Gonzalez, CBS News, Miami.
Thanks for joining us this half hour on Headliners. As always, keep it right here on CBS News Miami for up-to-the-minute breaking news and weather 24 hours a day. Make it a great one.